Okay, hello everybody. And listen, I got to apologize for this video. I don't know what happened. It must be all that holiday cheer or something, but this video is so screwed up, it's not funny. Well, it is kind of funny, but, well, okay, anyway. I don't know what happened. I retried it 3 different times, and each time it screwed up. I don't know. There's scenes that are out of place, but if you watch the whole thing, you'll get the drift of it. All right, anyway, see ya. Happy holidays, Happy New Year, and Merry Christmas. Happy birthday.
Hello everybody. This is a video about stealing a knife and sharpening a knife. One of my faithful subscribers asked me to show how to steal a knife on a butcher steel. So I decided I would, but more importantly, I want to show you how to sharpen a knife. Now, way back when I was 15, I worked in a bakery in the Marriott Hotel, and all the baker's knives were very dull. They, and you do need to cut stuff. I mean, they would cut cake, of course, or pie, but they wouldn't cut anything else. So I always complained, and one of the bakers showed me how to use a butcher steel. And I'll show you a little bit later. I steal a knife differently than the chefs. And the reason is because I was taught by bakers, and the bakers do it a little bit different. Okay, anyway, so, the steel didn't work as well as I thought it would, and I really wanted to learn how to sharpen a knife. So I went out and I bought a whetstone, and I bought some oil, and I decided to teach myself how to sharpen a knife, and this is what I've learned. All right, first of all, what you want to do is you want to get your towel wet, and get it wet, and particular towel, designate a towel just for this. I'm sure you can. Okay. The reason why you wet it is so that it'll stick, and that the whetstone will stick to it also. All right, now there's a couple tricks with a whetstone. Number one, if you use water on a whetstone, that's fine, but you always have to use water. You can't mix it up and use oil. Forget it. You're going to ruin the stone. I have used nothing but oil on this stone. And the oil I use is always a type of mineral oil, or, it's shaving off the very little, you lose a little bit of steel every time you sharpen it. I'll show you in a minute how sharp they are. An organic oil. In other words, if you try to use olive oil, okay, it'll work for the first couple times, and then it's going to gum up the stone. And it's important not to gum up the stone, because what the stone is doing is it's shaving off little particles on the edge of the knife. Okay, about a 15-degree angle, maybe 10 or 15 times. And then drop it down to where you can get a nickel. See, I was really intimidated in the beginning about sharpening knives. I really didn't know what the heck I was doing. And one day I just decided, hey, screw this. And like I said, I taught myself how to do it. And now I'm not intimidated at all, You give me anything, I can sharpen it. Over. So, in other words, today I'm going to do 4 knives. And then I'll show you how to steal them. Okay, now, first thing you do, you put a good amount of oil on the stone. Now watch, that oil is going to eventually seep right into the stone. Here, let me give you a little close-up here. But I do think that a lot of people are intimidated by when it comes to sharpening a knife. I do think a lot of people they just avoid it, And what happens is you end up working in the kitchen with a dull knife. And, a dull knife is really no fun, because You know, it's like driving a Volkswagen in a Formula One race. You know what I mean? You know, you're not going to have a lot of fun doing that. No offense, Volkswagen. Okay. All right, there we go. They're sharp. The same pressure all through the knife. You know, it takes a little while to learn how to sharpen a stone. It took me a little while. But I tell you what, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. If you have one of those things at home where you put the knife in and pull it and it sharpens it, that's good. Stick with that, you know. I could never use one of those in the kitchen. They would have laughed me. They would have laughed me out into the parking lot. So, okay, anyway, you want about a 15-degree angle, and you want to bite. You know, you can hear it. It bites. The stone is not gummed up at all, so that oil is going to make its way into the stone. Some of it will, some of it's going to flow off. Alright, now what you want to do is, you want to, at about a 15-degree angle, you want to drag the knife across the stone. Now, try to get on an angle so small that you could stick a nickel underneath. Just, you want to have it on that much of an angle that a nickel will fit underneath, okay? So, now what you're doing is you're reshaping the edge of the knife. Woohoo, mama! Okay. Okay, this knife is sharp. Now I'm going to show you on the butcher steel what to do. Okay, now this knife here looks really funky. You know, it looks, you know, like an old piece of crap. But I'll tell you what, this knife here has been through the war, man. This is what they call a high carbon steel. This is high carbon. In other words, the steel is made with a lot of carbon in it. These are mainly stainless steel knives. But this is old school right here. This is, like I said, a high carbon blade. And the good thing about high carbon is you can get this literally razor sharp. Because the metal's soft. And you can sharpen this knife to a razor's edge. But I'll steal them for you anyway. Okay, now look. An easy way to do this when you're first learning is put the knife on a solid surface, okay? I mean the steel. Put it on a solid surface. And that's all you're doing. The first 10 swipes are going to be, the angle is enough to where you could put a book of matches in between the knife and the steel, okay? That's the first 10 swipes. And then, just like with the stone, then drop the angle down to about between 10 and 15 degrees, about to where you could get a nickel underneath.
Okay, everybody, I'm glad you made it to the end of the video. I want to talk about this picture. This is the edge of a knife looking from the tip to the handle. Now, when you use a whetstone, what you're doing is you're grinding off some of that microscopic edge. And basically what you're doing is you're reshaping the edge of the knife. So the stone will take off the particles, and the steel will line the particles up. And that would explain this picture here. When the knife is sharp, all the particles are in line, basically. After use, they get a little bit out of line, and after a while, they're gonna be misshapen. So that's what the steel does. The steel brings it from blunt to sharp. Okay, I'll see you later. I gotta go. I gotta eat.